Okay, this part of the video will discuss sketches and mainly sketch relations. Now we once again need to select a plane to start with sketching. It's like we want to make a sketch. We always have to start drawing from the origin, or the position of the sketch should be known from the origin. So we could also, for instance, draw a square here and add some dimensions. Then add some more dimensions here to get the entire sketch fully defined. But we don't always have to use dimensions. In this case, I can simply remove this dimension and still make the entire sketch fully defined. I can tell Solidworks that one line should have the same length as the other. This is called a sketch relation, and they are depicted by these small green icons you see here. So let's make two lines equal. I'm going to hold down Ctrl, and with my left mouse button I'm going to select the two lines. On my left you'll see the option Add Relation. And I have multiple relations I can add. I can say this line should be horizontal, vertical, collinear, meaning the two lines are in line with each other, perpendicular, meaning there's an angle of 90 degrees between the two lines, parallel, meaning they have the same angle, equal in length, or fixed. Now the fixed option is almost never used. The only real use of the fixed option is if you have a sketch made by another company which you never want to change. That is when you use the fix option. In no other case would you use the fix option, especially not to make an underdefined part fully defined. You don't want to use the fix option for that. Now in this case we want to make the two lines equal, so now we can just select the equal icon. You can see it appears here on the screen. We can click OK, and again our entire part is fully defined. Now we have multiple options when using relations, so let's delete this again, select it all, and simply press delete. And let's just draw a line. And I'm going to draw the line on an angle, but I want the line to be straight. So I only want to draw one line, so even though I'm still in the sketch tool, I'm just going to click escape, and I'm out of the sketch tool. Now I can click on the line, and you can now see I only have three options. So this menu changes depending on how many lines you have selected. If there isn't an option there you would like to have, then you should look at the lines you have selected. In this case I want my line to be straight. I want it to be horizontal. So I'm just going to click on that option. You see the line becomes straight and the option appears. This icon you'll see here is the coincident icon. Let's add another line here. As you can see, because I've drawn the line straight, it automatically gives me the vertical option. And I also get this option. Because I just drew this line, you can see the little dotted line which appears. If I now draw this line, you can see I can still change the position of the line. And I can move it left to right, but it's fixed to the other line. Solidworks usually snaps when creating sketches. And what we call a snap is if we draw a line and it automatically adds a relation to another line or point. You can see here it snaps because it's vertical, and it snaps because it says it's horizontal to the other point, shown by the dotted line. Now we can click escape again, and now we're going to add a coincident relation manually. So let's delete this again, and let's also delete this relation. We can do that by simply clicking on this small relation icon. You can see coincident pops up. Click on that, click delete, and now we can simply move the line separately again. Now let's add the relation. Simply select the line, hold down Ctrl, don't forget this, and select this point. You'll see we have a couple of options here. One is the coincident option, and what this does is once again puts the line in line with the point. Let's undo this by pressing Ctrl Z, same as in Windows. Let's add the midpoint option. What this does is it puts the point you've selected in the middle of the line you've selected. This is a very useful option, because if we click on OK, and if we want to drag this line, make it bigger and smaller, it only changes from the center of the line. This is also a commonly used relation, together with the coincident relation. Now let's delete just the blue line. Let's add a circle. Using the option here, we can add a partial circle, 3 different ways, or we can add a full circle. Drawing a full circle is easy, just select the point, select the size, that's basically it. I can also drag and drop this line through the circle. As you can see, it snaps now, which means it automatically tries to add the relation displayed in yellow. It wants to add a coincident relation. So if I let go, it's automatically attached to the circle. And if I drag and drop now, it's attached. I can undo this again just by pressing Ctrl Z, which I can use throughout SolidWorks. Now let's remove the circle. Let's add a partial line. So we're going to add a tangent arc, which is used a lot in SolidWorks. I do this by selecting an endpoint from a straight line or another arc, and I can simply draw a part of an arc. You can see here, if I switch around with my mouse, I get a different type of arc. Let's place it there, and you can see a relation has been added. This is the tangent relation, a relation you'll be using a lot. What this relation does is it makes sure that the transition from the straight line to the curved line is smooth. Let's add another line here. So I'm going to add another line without the tangent relation, like this. Just on a random angle. Then click Escape again. As you can see, the transition from the angled line to the straight line is definitely not smooth. So let's add this. We're going to hold down Ctrl, select this line, select the tangent arc, and here you see the tangent option is the only possible option. This is displayed. We can click on this, and now you'll see that the transition from the angled line to the tangent arc is once again smooth. Well, let's delete this again. Now we're done with that. And now we're going to add a symmetric relation. First I'm going to add a center line, and then we're going to draw two circles, one here and one there. Now these circles will totally move independently. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the size of the circle, which should be 20, and I'm not going to add another relation to this circle because they both need to be the same size. So I'm going to hold down Ctrl, select both circles, and select they should be equal. You can see here, using circles you have multiple options. You can also say they should be different size, but the center of the two circles is equal. And you can also say, if you have two partial circles, that they need to lie on top of each other, which is the corradial option. So also using circles you have multiple options. I'm going to select OK again, so now the size is fixed, but the position is still totally independent. So now I'm going to add the symmetric relation. I'm going to do that by selecting the dotted line and the two circles. And you see, we can add symmetry. If we click on this, the position of the circles is now coupled using symmetry. This is also a relation which is used a lot in SolidWorks. So now we have discussed most of the relations. You know how you can delete a relation by clicking on it, clicking delete. You can also click on the line and see how many relations are present here on the left, and delete them independently, which is also an option.